Hi. Okay, so today's going to be a hard one because it takes really being honest with yourself when I talk about this because, a lot of times we're not honest. We're not honest with ourselves as to, that we may be causing some of our own healing or our own illness. So, are you the type of person that needs to talk about your symptoms? Not to everybody, maybe you hide them from everybody, but there's one person or two people or three people that you need to tell when your symptoms gets bad. Like if you have a major neurological symptom, my eyes are killing me, I've got this throbbing headache, my muscles are weak, my muscles are sore, I'm suffering, I'm in pain, whatever the situation is, do you tell somebody? So in my case, it's my husband. I hide it from everybody else in the world, but if I rate my symptoms, right? I rate them on a scale, and I'll just periodically email him through the day, and when my symptoms increase to an intolerable number, I'll just send him an email with my number so that he knows. And I've really started to question this, and I think you should too. I've done it before where I've said, I'm not going to talk about my symptoms. I'm not going to talk about them for 2 days or 3 days or a full week or whatever. But then I find other ways to express that I'm symptomatic to him. Meaning, I'll start to massage myself in front of him, or, put ice on my face, a cold cloth, or, do a certain something that will show to him I'm suffering, I'm in pain. So even when I tell myself that I'm not going to talk about it, I will find another way to communicate that it's bad or I'm having a hard time. So why do I do this, and why do you do this? It's because we want to not feel alone. We want to be acknowledged and respected for the suffering that we're going through. So it's not just suffering in silence. It's like we're being acknowledged somehow, or respected for how hard we're grinding through this, or we're working. It could be a way to get love, a way to get closeness or attention, or being cared for, or helped, or loved, or somebody else takes tasks off our shoulder, right? It could be a way to get out of things, or an excuse. Right? Is there somebody that maybe you haven't seen for a year, and you see them and they're like, how are you? And instead of saying great and move on, maybe you have to explain, I've had a really hard time over the winter, I went into this wave and I'm coming out of it, or blah, blah, blah. Do you feel the need to explain it so that maybe people don't require so much of you, so that you have an excuse handy should you need one, that you can get out of things, that you're let off the hook easier? That you're respected, or that people think, wow, or pitied, like a victim mentality, like, poor her, oh, look at how great she is, oh my gosh, it's, people feel sorry for you, or, at least you're getting something out of this suffering because people respect you, or they feel sorry for you, or they pity you, or it's an easy excuse, or they be nice to you, or they comfort you, or they love you, or they do things for you, or whatever it is, right? There's all these things that we're getting out of it, even if we don't think we are. And my question is, what if we don't talk about it anymore to anybody? And not just not talk about it, but not even tell them that we're not going to talk about it, or not even communicate non-verbally to somebody that we love that we're in suffering. But what if we just ignore the urge to massage ourselves, or to put those cold cloths on our head, and we just carry on, and we don't talk about it, and we give ourselves, we're not getting anything out of it anymore because we can't use it to get love or sympathy or an excuse or acknowledgement, or whatever it is that we're getting out of it. What if we could get absolutely nothing out of it? What if we were forbidden to talk about it, to show about it? Would it get worse? Because it has in my case before. It's gotten worse and worse when I do that, and to the point that it makes me talk about it, or makes me tell my husband, like, oh my God, I can't do this anymore, right? Is that psychological? Is that happening in my mind? Is my body screaming for that kind of love and attention and acknowledgement? And so it gets worse and worse and worse until I finally talk about it? You know, or if I didn't, would it pass? And would it say, we're not getting anything out of this anymore, and no matter how hard I crank it up, she's not going to break, so I'm going to give up. I'm not going to cause her pain or suffering anymore, because it's going to give her absolutely nothing in her life. So it's a tough one to think about, even for me. But I'm thinking about it. And today, I'm going to do this, and I really would like you to do this too. Don't talk about it, and don't talk about not talking about it, and don't show anybody, and just smile through it. Just be kind, just be yourself. And if you have to go into another room and go to the bathroom and go massage yourself or put ice in your face, come out and look like you're not sick. Carry on with your life like nothing is wrong. And even if it ramps up, let yourself know that that is your subconscious trying to get you to talk about it. But don't break. See what happens, okay? Let's explore this together.